Hello there, friend, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Scar. My pronouns are they, them. Anyway, I am doing something different on my channel. I have always loved watching commentary stuff, and I was like, you know what? I saw that The Bachelorette is premiering, and I was like, hey, I have never seen The Bachelorette or The Bachelor. So what if I watched it and shared my opinions? And oh boy, do I have a lot. Today Japan, Lost in Japan. I will put his information in the bottom part. He's going to be joining me today to kind of watch and discuss what is happening. You want to say
Yes.
hello?
Hello, I am Japan.
You are Japan. So yeah, that is what is currently happening. Like I said, I know it's a little different, from what I normally do, but it seemed kind of fun. So anyway, that is what we are going to do today. Just a little bit of a recap for certain parts. Basically, the Bachelorette, her name is Jen. She's 26 and she's a med student. So she seems really sweet, in my opinion. She's beautiful, she's sweet, and I'm excited to see how this works out for her. I guess we'll find out if she
Poorly.
gets. Well, you don't know. Maybe she'll find love. I hope she finds love.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Okay, well, I am optimistic. One cool thing that they mentioned is that she is the first Asian American bachelorette, so I thought that was really cool. Anyway, let's jump into it. So, Jen has been, I think, from what I understand, on The Bachelor, not The Bachelorette, but The Bachelor, and she was with a bachelor and then it didn't work out. I didn't know they kind of kept using people. It makes sense.
Oh yeah,
So,
they just like recycle. They'll get like a fan favorite from like the
that makes
season
sense.
before, and then they just like, well, you didn't do that good, but we'll use you. So like people are invested.
No, that makes a lot of sense, and I get why she's a fan favorite. She seems so sweet, so it
Too
makes a
sweet to be on
lot of
this.
sense. You
Way too
what?
sweet to be on. It's way too sweet to be on this. It's just
Yeah, probably so, honestly. She's so young. Okay, so first things first, we are going to talk about every single guy that shows up and what we think about them. And the first person that we see
tier
is
list.
tier list. I really do want to do a tier list of it, but
I mean,
hang
me
on.
too. After
Anyway,
this,
Marcus is our first one. Marcus is 31. And honestly, okay, I had a weird thought go through my head. I'm like, number one, how do they choose these guys? Do they choose guys that sort of match what she's looking for? Or are they just choosing hot guys to like throw on the show and be like, hopefully they're not a total jerk? Like, I'm very curious about the
as
casting.
far as I know, what they do with the casting is that they'll have people put in tapes, and so there'll be a bunch of tapes, and then they
Okay.
just put them that can fit. Like, I don't think they really go off of any of her preferences
Okay.
necessarily. I think they might go around age, but like, even then, like they probably still like if she said 30,
Yeah.
like Marcus could have been like the 31. Like they tend to just fit people that they think are going to be entertaining for one,
Yeah,
and
that's
actually that's
true.
mainly it because it's nothing about her finding love. Like let's
Mm.
just be honest here. Like we want
No,
her
that's
to, and I
valid.
hope she does. But the thing is pure entertainment, so they rather have 25 jerks in there
Right. No,
than
that's true.
having
That's
25 good
true.
guys because it would be so
It makes me
boring.
sad though, cause like, she's so sweet. I don't okay,
Yeah, but
this
she's getting paid for it. Like she's,
oh, does she?
oh yeah, I think everybody gets paid in these type of shows, and
Okay.
I think like, I mean, it's like a certain amount. You're compensated for being on the air for anything. You get residuals when they, like re-air them and stuff like that. Put them on
Okay,
Hulu.
yeah,
Well,
no,
they're
that
supposed to
that
now.
makes
That's new.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I mean, like I mean, it's worth the risk. Like I think what they do is like they probably pick 25. If it's just like, oh, there's 25 guys. They probably pick 20 of them that are just terrible
Mm,
content creators, and
yeah.
then they get five that probably might fit what she asked for, and then they just let them roll the dice because eventually, by the time they get into like the final five, then that's when the show actually heats up to being like, oh, she might actually be in love with somebody.
Okay. Anyway, the first guy we have is Marcus. Like I
Who
said, he is 31. A little backstory, the first thing he told her, which I thought was a little weird, he was like, "Oh, I've had three dreams since growing up. My dreams are to serve my country, go to outer space, and marriage, pretty much. Meet the girl of his dreams. They showed that he almost died while on deployment, and Marcus thought it was kind of odd, personally, Japan did too, that he packed a flag in his suitcase. Where
It's not even that it's odd. It's just very cringe.
it's just like, where would he hang that? It's not I don't
Like
know,
in
it's
his room, like he's literally gonna hang that on the wall, like how you'd hang like a cross or
okay.
something. Like he'll put that up. He had one in his room where he was at. Like that man literally didn't pick up the other one. He had to go out and buy a second flag, and
Okay,
then
see,
do
I
that.
just
And
thought it was a
he
little
didn't
odd.
even. And my thing is, he didn't even fold it correctly. I know ROTC and ROTC, and he didn't even fold it. He didn't
Yeah, it
do
was
the
just
little
rolled up.
scarf thing. He just rolled it up like a towel,
It
man. That's
felt
how I
more
put my
like a
beach towel
prop.
in it.
It felt more like a
Yeah,
prop or
they
something.
handed it. That's what I'm saying. They probably handed it to him. Hey, America boy, here you go. And we'll get like every single one. I can my predictions will have like a city guy, we'll have a farmer guy, we'll have a rich dude, which I know you kind of already said there is one
Mhm.
from your first watch, but we'll have a guy that's probably like has like the most white collar job, like oh yeah, like I'm a
Finance?
garbage man, or like yeah, just
Oh,
something
blue
like super
collar.
simple.
Sorry,
Blue collar,
gotcha.
yeah. We'll have a blue collar, white collar, pink collar, every collar. Like
I
that's
feel like you're
even probably
nailing
the
it
collar.
actually, because
There's
but
probably some
just
religious dude too, like that is like super overly like God sent me to be here to be in The Bachelor.
just to disclose, I have watched the episode first, and now I'm rewatching it with Japan. I watched the first time just to take it in, and this time, yeah. Okay. So neither of us really care for Marcus. I know that she really likes Marcus. Um, do you
Yeah.
think he's
Also his
cute?
hand.
I know that you're not
No.
like into guys, but like
No, but he's not even a good looking guy.
I think he's okay, but he's not like yeah, he's just kind of eh.
You got that military vibe. Like even if you didn't tell me that guy was military, I would have told you that. I
You
think
could have known,
former
yeah.
military. They just like hold themselves a certain way and they just look a certain
Okay,
way.
and the
The
way he
haircut
grabbed
too.
her hands was
That was
weird.
weird. Yeah, you don't
Okay.
even grab your hands like that. I would have never like like the way he grabbed them like claws, like weird.
Yeah.
And like kept intense eye contact.
Yeah, it was a little much. Anyway, that is our first guy. Let's take a look at our second guy. Okay, so our next bachelor is Marvin. He is 28. His job is luxury event planner. Kind of an interesting job. I don't know. I
Yeah.
thought that was kind of interesting. Um he spoke he spoke French but like with no accent. Like he speaks French like you do, Japan.
Oui, oui.
Japan took French years ago in school, like in high school, and there's no accent. Just
Yeah, but technically speaking, that is like if you don't supposed to do the accent, like that just seems like
or
that's might be offensive if you try to be in
not
like a French
necessarily
accent.
accent, but like the inflections and stuff, you know? I don't know. Either
I think he
way,
was just nervous. That man was sweating. He was
he
like,
was I
he's
thought
like,
he seemed sweet though. I thought he seemed
yeah,
sweet.
best
What
one
do
so
do
far.
you think he's cute? Do you think he's not
I
cute?
thought he was pretty decent
I
looking.
thought he was kind of cute. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um I'm gonna be honest though, guys, I don't have high hopes for Marvin because they didn't give him a backstory. I don't know
yeah.
if that's how this show works. Maybe they show it like through multiple episodes, but I don't know if my boy Marvin's gonna be making
It's
it, guys.
yeah, it's like 50-50 because sometimes when they don't show it in the first episode, they it survives a
They'll
little bit
show it in
later.
a
But
different
yes,
one, yeah.
yeah, because sometimes they like to just if depending on time, they just like to dump it randomly and then to be like, oh, here's Marvin. He just saved orphans. Oh yeah, you don't get a rose tonight, Marvin.
Yeah, poor Marvin. Anyway, that is Marvin. Okay, so our next bachelor is Sam N. Japan, do not say
Yep.
anything yet. Anyway, Sam N is 25 and he is an entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur.
Okay, so I want to say about the entrepreneurial thing, to me that is a red flag. What are you an entrepreneur of? Like unless there's like a business or something you're doing, it
Living off
sounds
dad's money.
very yeah, like, it sounds
Lives at
very
home.
vague and,
Yeah.
like, you don't actually do anything.
Yeah, it's a fancy word for unemployment.
That's kinda what I thought. I I okay, so Sam rolls up And he pops out and he goes up to our little sweet baby Jen. And the first thing he says is, I have something to tell you. I'm a virgin. A love virgin. This guy is a walking red flag. He has never been in a relationship before, and the joke was just ugh.
That is the best part of his intro though. Like everything else was downhill after that. That was already like a train wreck, but then like somehow it rolled into an orphanage and burned the whole place down with the orphans inside.
Yeah, because afterwards when he's in the, like, talking head thing and he's talking about being a gentleman, ugh, ugh, brother, ugh.
Even it wasn't even that bad. He had to explain it. That's even worse. When you have to
Yeah.
explain a terrible joke like that, you just got to give it up. Like
And
there's
he
just no
keeps
point.
explaining I love that the producers put this in there because he
Yeah.
needed to be humbled desperately. Okay, do you think
How
he's
much bet?
cute?
How much? 1 second. Do you think you want to bet that he says that more? I almost
Oh,
guarantee you he'll say that at least
absolutely.
twice more in
It's
like
all
the
he's
next
gonna
two
do.
episodes.
It's all he's gonna do.
Uh, I don't know because he has that. I okay. I don't even know if that's a word I could say on like demonetization. He
Oh,
douche. Yeah, douche works better. I was gonna
douche, okay.
yeah, wide member is what I was gonna call him. Um,
Wait,
he kind
what?
of has that chode.
Oh, okay.
See, explaining the joke doesn't make it funny. You see,
Okay.
that's the proof of it. He just has that vibe. So like, I don't know. Like, I don't think he's bad looking, but like, I look at him and I just like, I know he's an entrepreneur.
Whenever
I can
he
almost
popped
guarantee.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry. I was just
I can
gonna
almost.
say, when he popped out of the car, I thought he was incredibly handsome. Like, I think he's really cute, and then he started talking, and I was like, "Oh, never mind."
Yeah, I can almost guarantee if you hide everybody's job, I could probably get everybody's job on this.
Oh, that would be interesting. Maybe you'll look away and you can take a guess. We'll see.
Sounds
Um,
good.
but yeah, Sam is not hitting the hitting any points yet. So,
No, not at all.
anyway, let's go check out our next boy. So our next bachelor is Grant. He is 30 years old and I had Japan guess his job before we found out what it is. And what did you say, Japan?
I said finance and
Yep. And he's a day trader. So
yeah, that's
um
pretty close. Yeah, well, I mean, like I was about to say musician, and then he's actually started singing, and then I was like, oh, okay, well, he
eh,
probably doesn't do that professionally. That was pretty terrible.
yeah, so he little backst it gave us a little lore drop for him. He used to be a basketball player, but he got injured, so he had to swap into the day trading. Yeah, his entrance, him coming in, beatboxing, making a little song, he's a dork.
It's nice to meet you. My name is Grant.
So nice to
We'll
meet you.
make all these guys so jealous. Cause at the end of this show, we'll change your name to Mrs. Ellis.
It wasn't like as bad. I mean, he had some
Honestly,
confidence in it, but
it was
it
kind of
was still pretty
endearing.
cringe.
It was endearing, I think, just because it was dorky.
It
I
didn't
think
even rhyme though.
No, it was bad, but I think dorkiness is endearing, so, I appreciated the attempt, to be fair, I've also seen the rest of the entrances, so, his is not bad, okay? Do you think he's cute?
Uh, not really. I don't know.
Yeah,
He's
I
not really
didn't
my
think he
type.
was yeah, I was like, "Eh, I didn't think he's very cute," but what do you think about him so far?
He's okay. His like whole backstory is kind of like a red flag because it's so like normal. Like former athlete going into like stock and
Mhm.
finance is pretty common.
Yeah. It's hard to say, we'll have to see, we'll have to see. Let's go ahead and check out our next bachelor. So our next bachelor is Sam. He is 27, and before Japan saw the job, I asked him to try to guess what his job would be. Japan was like, he looks like he might do blue collar work. It looks like he maybe uses his body for his job. He guessed potentially like fitness or bartender, and he is a contractor. So you really weren't far off. And
Yeah, I
you
didn't even think
kinda
about
nailed
that as a
these a
job.
little too well, it's kinda scary. Okay, So, first things first, I'm gonna say, I think this man is a walking red flag. When
Oh,
he said
absolutely.
that he dated his girlfriend since middle school, okay, imagine this, middle school all the way to a year ago, I am, like, a little thrown off by that because if you were with someone for that long, you need longer than a year, okay? And I'm guessing calling in to be in this show probably takes months,
That's what I was about to say. Like he put this in probably progress like 6 months ago.
or when he was still with never mind. And he said that his girl cheated on him. Japan thinks he's lying. I
Yeah.
yeah. We will have to see, but yeah, that was a little I don't know, something about the
I
whole
mean,
thing was
if he gets final like towards the final, they'll bring up like exes into it and stuff. So
ooh, do
like
they?
yeah, if we get like I remember that in one of the seasons, like they talked to about like an old ex and had an interview, like so it was like more dirt that way.
Ooh, okay, I'm
I'm
excited.
hoping he makes it to like the final three so we can figure it out.
That would
He's
be
decent looking, but
yeah, so do you think he's cute?
I think he's pretty decent looking.
Yeah, I don't
I mean,
think he's horrible.
he's a contractor, so he's
Yeah,
pretty good shape and
I
stuff.
think he's alright,
He's still
that's
got that
kinda he's
vibe,
got
but
the I think my thing is he's very southern looking in like, there's just, like, a certain look for guys in the South,
where was he even
and,
from?
I think South Carolina or something.
Okay, yeah.
North some in the
Yeah,
South.
everybody's so far around, so it's like hard to say sometimes, which is
Yeah,
always
and
just
I
a weird
think
thing
Jen
too.
is from Boston, I'm pretty sure, so I
Yeah, this man's not moving to Boston, I guarantee it.
and I don't think she wants to move to the sticks, but anyway,
I would not.
let's get to our next bachelor. We're actually not jumping to our next bachelor yet. We wanted to talk first about it just slipped my mind with all the other stuff. The weird thing he said something about being together 50 years in the future and him making her breakfast and then all of a sudden it's shot o'clock. I'm confused.
Yeah, why did you go 50? Like 15 would have been better. Like you are
Yeah.
77 at that age. If you're taking shots, you're probably gonna
And it's
die.
also for breakfast. I don't understand. I
Yeah.
was it out of the
Eh, eh,
blue?
Yeah, it felt like it was some type of like meme or something. Like something about having two shots in your hand, like or a country song. Must have been a country song. But
I
either way, that
maybe.
is it is so cringe of it.
It was weird. Okay, I didn't know if it
And
was just me.
also the last part that when she said like I always wanted to date a cowboy. What is he's not a cowboy? What is it? This man is just barely southern. He just happens to live in a southern state and have a like,
Have
a,
a
a job.
hard-working job. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, that was Sam. Now for real, we're on to the next bachelor. So our next bachelor on the menu I don't know why I said menu. On our menu tonight is Thomas. He is 31 and he is a retirement advisor. Japan accidentally saw the job before guessing, but I think you had already said he seemed kind of like maybe he sold insurance or something.
Yeah, I was thinking insurance agent, and then I saw the advisory part, which I guess is kind of similar. He probably has similar
No, I get
things.
that, kinda in that same vein. So, Thomas, he kinda did something a little odd. He seemed pretty chill, sweet, normal, and then he is like, "Oh, I have a gift for you," and he gives her a homemade bracelet with his last name on it.
Yeah,
Um,
I can't imagine
little
this man sitting there and making that bracelet and thinking that was a good idea.
yeah, that was a little odd. Now, I do kind of wonder if they have some kind of props department that would maybe do stuff like this and, like,
But
kinda
even then, like he was like, "Yeah, that's
yeah.
actually the best idea with my name on it." It's like I can understand if it had her name on it, or that would have just been kind of like oh, it's a cute little thing to remember me by.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, no
guarantee you that bracelet will not be there by the next episode.
we shall see. I actually forgot to keep an eye out for it, so you can help me do that.
He's
Um,
like making out with some dude, and it will get broken, and then Thomas will see it
oh.
broken on the side and
Oh,
start crying.
no. And, oh, I didn't mention Thomas, they did give him a little bit of a lore drop. I'm assuming
They've
he's
given
gonna make it.
everybody except for Marvin.
He what?
They've given everybody a lore drop except for Marvin so far.
Yeah, Marvin's not looking too good. So,
I think Marvin's out by
Thomas
like next episode.
Thomas is he loves to swim and he wanted to go to the Olympics for swimming, but he tore a rotator cuff and he wasn't able to. And now, like I said, he is a retirement advisor. So, do we think Thomas is cute?
He's okay. I'm not really sold either way on him. He's
I thought
pretty
he
fit.
was kinda okay, but he looks like a friend of ours, so it kinda makes it really hard to find him cute,
Yeah.
if
Yeah,
that
no,
makes
that's
sense.
valid. No,
Okay.
that's valid.
Anyway, let's get to our next bachelor. All right, our next bachelor is Brendan. They are 30 and Japan guessed their job as being in insurance or real estate, and Brendan he's a real estate broker, so you scare me with how good at this you are.
He just has that face, like when you see like somebody have like the real estate like picture when you go like by like a park bench, which they don't have these in the South, so
Yeah,
you probably don't know. But like a lot of park benches have
I've
that, and
seen
they
it on
just have that
TV.
weird like fake look almost, you know?
Yep.
And he kind of
Yeah.
had that. Like he definitely had a job where like he goes there and then wants to go home and like murder a small puppy or something. You know, like he
Oh
definitely has like that weird
God.
job.
Well, I
I
mean,
mean,
we
he
do
ate hot pepper. What do you
find
mean? Like he
yeah,
went torture. He tortured himself. Like he don't
I
act like it's a completely out
definitely
of the blue.
thought he was weird. He, like, shows up and he immediately just pulls something out of his pocket and crunches down on it, and then he keeps eating them. It's hot peppers, and he's just, like, sweating and just very in my opinion, it is not an attractive look to be, fighting for your life like that, you know, like, for the first time you're meeting someone. It was really awkward, honestly. I'm not sure why he was thinking that, and honestly, Sam was hilarious in the voiceover and the talking head after. He's like,
Yeah, made me feel
um,
better about him, but
he's like, "It makes 0 sense why someone would wanna do that." I'm like, "Honestly, yeah, it was so weird." It was such a weird thing to do. I was definitely caught off guard with that. So, okay. Do we think that Brendan is cute?
no,
I don't think he's cute either. I
not at
really
all.
don't. He just gives me weird, icky vibes. So,
He gives
anyway,
me fake vibes. Like he's not a real person.
yeah. Yeah, no, I get that. Just very ugh. All right, let's get to our next bachelor. All right, so our next bachelor is Dakota. They are 27 and Japan guessed that they are a sommelier. No, they didn't. They thought artist, but they're like a sommelier. I think that's how you pronounce it. Basically, a wine dude. Um
Yeah, I knew it had to be something weirder, but I was off. Yeah, I said crypto also maybe, which I
yeah,
could still be right. That could still be right. He has to fund that wine, you know. So
gotta
yeah.
fund that wine. Interesting viewpoint. But yeah, I think that my hopes for Dakota aren't very good considering the fact that the entrance is so small. But let's get to our next bachelor. Our next bachelor of the evening is Kevin. He is 35, which I think is way too old. He's 9 years older than
Way
her.
too old.
Like, I don't vibe with that. Japan's guess was something in finance, and guess what? He's a financial analyst. So, I think that will have to be my next YouTube series is you guessing people's jobs based off of what they look like, because somehow you're amazing at it. He
For
had a weird
now, yeah.
entrance. He had ski gear on while also wearing a suit and just hobbling and wobbling in the ski stuff and looking kind of dumb in my personal opinion.
Oh, absolutely
Um,
dumb.
yeah. So do we think he's cute?
I don't know. He's just so much older than her, so it's kind of hard to
Yeah.
say. I don't think
I
he's
think
bad looking.
I don't think he's bad, but I don't think he's anything crazy, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, that's what
All
I would
right.
say.
Let's get to our next bachelor. So, our next bachelor for the evening was Brian. He is 33. Japan guessed that he maybe did something on TV, but he is an aesthetics consultant. I had a little trouble figuring out what the hell that was. I think basically it's someone that consults with you before you get plastic surgery or something like that. I'm not sure. I think. So, I anyway, I think what was
Yeah.
so funny here is they show the clip of Sam being like, "Oh, I know that she's gonna remember me because of the shot o'clock thing," and then another guy rolls up and does the same thing but better.
Shot o'clock! Let's get it!
Yeah,
Um,
with shots. And what is the
yeah,
shot of clockane? I gotta know,
do not
but
know. We should probably
also
Google
don't
that.
care.
Should probably Google that. But anyway, so this guy kind of gives me weird. I don't know. I don't like his vibes. I'm just gonna say it.
I don't like him either. And from the side, he seemed much older. I think that's why. Like when I'm looking at him now, I wouldn't have guessed TV, but like I got the side profile first when I guessed because it was just like they're not even showing half their stuff and they don't get any
Yeah.
backstory. So uh, he looks a lot different.
Do you think he's cute? Not cute?
Not really. He gives me like that
Yeah.
Jersey Shore vibe. I'm not.
Kind of, yeah. No, for real. All right. That is let's just get to the next guy. So, our next bachelor of the evening is Spencer. Spencer is 30 and I forgot what you guessed their job was. I think golfer?
Yeah, it seemed like something athletic, but no, he was just a
A
pet
pet
portrait
portrait
entrepreneur.
entrepreneur.
No way I would have
Um
got that.
no, I didn't expect you to. That one was too weird. I thought the pocket squares was a little bit odd. I mean, not the worst though. Just
I
odd.
mean, but like, why did he bring it for both of them when like,
I right. That's the part
what
that
is
got
she
me.
supposed to do with it? Like, that was kind of
Right.
weird.
Yeah. Or maybe I think he was choosing she chose a pocket square for him to wear.
Oh, that's still weird. I
Yeah,
don't like
cuz
it.
like those are wild colors. Cute, not cute.
He was okay. We only saw him for like 2 seconds, so I didn't
Yeah,
even get to even
I didn't
check it even
care.
out.
I didn't care too much for him. All right, let's get to our next one. So, our next executive, what? Our
I
next
mean, he is an
bachelor.
executive.
Our next bachelor of the evening is Matt. He is 27. Japan thought that maybe he worked in music, which I totally see the vibe. He definitely gives off
Yeah.
that vibe. But he's actually an insurance executive, so did not
He for
expect that.
sure will have. I'm calling it now. If we get a backstory from him, he at some point had a band, and he will bring it up.
Oh my
I'm
god.
just,
You know
I
what?
just know it. I know
I
it in
love
my
it.
my bones. I felt that by looking at him that he's that way.
You know it
Nobody's
in your
that free
heart.
spirited, you know.
Well, anyway, do we think he's cute? Not cute?
No, not at all. That's definitely not my type. There's too much going on all over
Valid.
stuff.
I think
I
he's
just
okay.
his hair is really bad.
Yeah, the hair is kind of gives me a not, yeah, the ick a little bit. All right, let's get to our next bachelor. Our next bachelor of the evening is Austin. He is 28. Japan guessed that he must be an executive of some sort, which is correct. He is a sales executive. He came in as his entrance words,
Entrance.
please, Lord. He came in, his entrance was basically I don't know, saying she looks fire and then spraying a fire extinguisher everywhere. Um Pretty lame.
Yeah, it was very lame.
It was pretty
I don't
bad,
think
I'm
he was
gonna be
bad looking
real.
though. He wasn't too bad
I
looking,
think
but
he
it was
was
just such a
okay.
weird and lame
It
thing to
was
do.
odd. It was just odd, yeah. That one was weird. Okay, let's get to the next guy. All right, our next bachelor of the evening, his name is Ricky. He is 28. Japan guessed that he might be in sales, but he is a pharmaceutical rep. Um, he said some kind of weird poem that he said he wrote, and I have
Yeah,
no idea what the hell it meant or what he even really said. It was like, is she, what was it? Something, is she
Chief.
Grant?
Yeah.
I don't know what that
I feel
word
like it
means.
just I don't know either.
Is she naked or in scrubs? What is this man saying to her and what does it mean?
I would say like the scrubs part is because she's like part of the medical field, but it's
It's
still
weird.
weird to say.
I don't understand what was going on there. So, anyway, don't care for his vibes. What do we think about his looks?
He wasn't bad looking. I don't think it was anything too bad.
Yeah, I liked his hair and his shoes, but it was a little, he opened his mouth. So, anyway, let's get to the next bachelor. Okay, so our next bachelor of the evening is Thomas A, and I don't think I wrote down his age. Whoops. Did you see it?
26, 27, or something like that.
Okay, something. Um, Japan thought maybe he was an entrepreneur or into crypto. He is a physiotherapist.
See,
Um,
being the crypto doesn't mean I'm wrong. I mean, people can still be into crypto. We just don't. It's not their main
True,
job.
but that's, we're going for main job. He brought puppies, which I just, okay, first of all, where the heck do these puppies come from? Seems like they probably come from like a pound and then they just return them to the pound, right?
Yeah, or yeah, pretty much. Or they get lucky that it's somebody that they know, like that
It was
has some
weird.
dogs.
Well, because he's all the way from Toronto, so he
Yeah.
didn't bring those dogs. And
But
his
he never said they were
likelihood,
his.
yeah, and the likelihood of him knowing someone, I don't know, it was just a weird, no, I don't vibe with this guy.
Yeah, he's a red flag.
Red flag! On to the next one. So, our next bachelor of the evening is Jonathan. They are 27. Japan kind of got. Your guess was probably really hard to guess because this guy had his face covered in bandages and showed up on a gurney in a hospital gown and said that he's lovesick.
Oh. 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 No. Oh, my head.
Um, his Japan guest police, he is a creative director. I don't know what he is creatively directing, but I don't like it.
Poor decisions.
Poor decisions, yes, because what the hell, sir? What are you doing? What is
Yeah, that
this?
was that was crazy. I don't
His
know
ass
why
was
you do that.
hanging out, dude. Like literally he flashed her as he walked up there. And now does he just sit in his little outfit all night? Like I don't know. I don't like the vibes here.
I don't either.
Um Jonathan, please go home. That is all. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Next. So, our next bachelor of the evening is Aaron. He is 29. Japan guessed that he might be a teacher or a scientist, and he is an aerospace engineer. Um, so he had a little lore drop, and his twin brother was on a previous season and is engaged now to that person. And also they mentioned that he is divorced. He got married when he was 21. They didn't say when he got divorced though. So I was a little concerned
Yeah, it
about
sounds like it's
that.
probably not that long ago.
Yeah, that's my concern. Do we think he's cute?
I think he was okay. I don't think he was anything too crazy because he is
Eh,
kind of dorky looking, but
I wasn't quite vibing with it. Yeah, he was very dorky, but he didn't really seem like much of a red flag as much. He just seemed kind of chill. So,
yeah,
yeah, let's get to our next guy. So, our next bachelor. His name
it's
is
rough.
Jeremy. It is rough. He's 29. Japan thought maybe lawyer, but he's a real estate investor. We don't even care about that at this point, guys. What the hell was he doing? He shows up and he's like, I know that, like, he shows up in like a Ferrari or some stupid sporty car. And he's like, shows up in that, kind of douchey, whatever. And then he goes up to her and he's like, oh, I know a lot of guys are compensating when they drive cars like this. And she's like, oh, haha, you said it, not me. And then he said, I just want to let you know I've got a really big, I know, a really big penis. There was no joke there. It was just straight up. Like, why would you say that to someone you just met?
Try to be edgy and
It's not edgy, it's just weird and creepy.
Oh, I know it is, but I'm just saying that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah, Jeremy, they could never make me like you. Okay? Okay, sweet cakes. What do you think about the way he looks? Cute, not
I,
cute?
not at all.
He opened his mouth. Anyway, next one. So our next bachelor is Dylan. He is 24. Kind of not one that we can guess on for, or the Japan can guess on the job because he had a stethoscope around his neck. He is a med student. They gave him a little lower drop and he mentioned why he wants to be a doctor. He mentioned that his grandmother had breast cancer when he was 11 or 12 and it kind of gave him that push to be a doctor. I did think something was a little weird about his lore drop. He said when he was 11 or 12 that he started meeting and shadowing doctors.
Probably just went to his like like the place and like just followed them around. He's like, "Oh, I was learning."
you can't just follow a doctor around. It
I
was
know.
just a weird, it seemed a little odd. Yeah, I don't know. I thought that was a little odd. Otherwise, I think he seemed really sweet and nice. What do you think?
He seemed fine, yeah.
Cute, not cute?
I thought he was pretty decent looking.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought he was cute. All right, let's get to our next bachelor. So, our next bachelor is John. He is 25, and Japan thought maybe he was like a music producer or something, but he is a med student. His intro was just a little odd. He brought like a pedestal and he's like, "Oh, I'm always gonna put you on a pedestal." I thought that was just kind of odd.
That was the lamest thing that I've ever seen.
It was better than Ass Cheek Guy, but yeah, it was pretty weird. Pretty
Honestly,
weird.
ass cheek better. It was better than it felt like.
Dang. Did you think he was cute? What'd you think?
I thought he was pretty decent looking.
Yeah, I didn't he was okay, you know. But a little bit odd, but there's probably worse. Let's get to the next
Yes.
guy. Our next bachelor of the evening is Brett. He is 28. Japan thought maybe he worked for like hospitality, but he is a health safety manager, and I feel like you probably wouldn't have guessed that because it's so specific.
Yeah.
I mean, and he could still work in the hospitality industry because he is a health safety dude. So I don't know, you know, but
Yeah.
um they didn't really
Only
show
time will
much of
tell.
him, so I don't have a lot of hope for him, and I feel like that is unfortunately a fate that happens to a lot of plus size bigger people, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was surprised to see that they had a plus size person. I was like, oh, okay, I'm here for this. I like the idea of it, you know. But is it a token type of deal where
Helping.
that's kind of what I thought because everybody else is like 6 foot tall, like super fit, and it's like I don't know. It's kind of icky. It's like I mean, plus size people exist, and that is okay.
Then watch
All
him
right.
win it all. He's gonna prove you wrong.
We'll see. We'll see. No spoilers. Anyway,
Oh, that means he gets eliminated by it.
let's get to
Nice.
our next guy. So we're kind of just like fast firing through these guys at this point. It feels like they're just like boom, 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 boom. The next one that we have is Mose. He is 25. Japan guessed that he is maybe like a PE coach. Not actually far off. He is like in the teaching field. He's an algebra teacher. Cute, not cute.
He was pretty decent looking.
I didn't care for him, but I mean, it is what it is. Definitely seems like a dork, but it kind of goes with the teacher vibe, in my opinion. Kind of
Yeah.
dorky. So, all right, let's get to our next boy. Our next bachelor of the evening is, I believe it's pronounced Jahan. Um, he is 28, and Japan guessed what was it? That he's maybe like an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Which he was a startup founder, so it's kind of the
I
same
don't think
thing.
that's too far off, honestly.
Yeah.
He kind of had a lame thing. He brought a chess piece. It was the queen, and he's like, "Oh, you're my queen," and I'm like, "Oh, that's so dorky. That's so awkward."
Yeah, I'm feeling now with like the props and stuff. I guarantee you they just have like a giant crate of crap, and they're like, pick any feign if you want, and then these people are
Agreed.
just picking the dumbest feigns. That makes it even worse to me because it's like at least before it was like we might have came up with creative, but no, this is definitely more planted and staged.
I is it normal for them to have like weird
I
things?
don't remember, honestly.
I know
I
you
would
said you
say
watched
yes.
one season. Yeah, it
Yeah,
seems like something
long
they
ago,
would
and I don't even
do.
know if I started it from the start. It might have been a
Okay,
couple
valid.
episodes in.
No, that's valid. Do we think I God, I don't know if I'm getting his name right. So Jahan, I believe. Do we think he's cute?
I think he's okay.
Yeah, I thought he wasn't too bad.
Not really my type, but I don't think he's the
Valid.
worst.
Let's get to our next one. All right, our next bachelor of the evening is Pete Davidson. He is 28. No, I'm just kidding. His name is Devin. He definitely gives Pete Davidson vibes, and she even mentions that as well, which I was like, when I was watching it, I'm like, am I just like am I dumb? Like why am I feeling this? But she thought so too. So, I felt like I was correct there.
Indicated.
Um Japan thought maybe he is a manager of something. He is actually pretty correct. He's a freight company owner. Um, yeah, he seems sweet though. What do you think about him?
I just can't get past the Pete Davidson thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
That person doesn't need to procreate more, so
Oh.
he's not bad, but I'm just reading like he's
Oh.
just I don't know why people are obsessed with him. It's a weird one.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. So I'm guessing you don't think this guy is very attractive.
Not at all.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I think Pete Davidson seems funny, but it's a no for me, dog. Next guy. All right, next up on our bachelor list is Hakeem. Japan guessed that they are in insurance. They are a medical device salesman, which is so specific. They are 29, and honestly, what the heck, Hakeem? Why are you wearing balloons? I just
Yeah, and
don't.
it's not even an up reference. Like that's
That's what I
crazy.
thought. And then he's like, "Oh, this is how I felt when I found out you were gonna be the Bachelorette." And I'm like, bro, what do you? What is this? Go away, balloon boy. Um,
Oh
do
my
we
god,
think
that's
he's
who he is. He's just Balloon Boy. He's
who's
grown up.
balloon boy? Who's balloon
Uh,
boy?
the kid that went missing, but he actually was in a balloon. Remember
Wow,
that
this is
story
a
a while
reference
back ago?
I don't know, but
Yeah, like they said, like the parents said he was gone, but he was actually hiding in the attic because they said like he
oh,
flew
and they
away
said
in a
he floated
balloon.
away on the balloon. Yeah. I
Yeah,
do remember that.
yeah,
He's
yeah, yeah.
balloon boy all grown up. Do we think he's cute?
Not at all. He's got them
No.
crazy eyes. I do not like this guy.
He
Like
gives
he
the
feels like he might strangle
weirdest
somebody with the
vibes.
balloons.
He seemed a little too excited to be there too. I don't know if that's like a thing,
I think
but
that's I think that's a feign. I think like the only reason why they're there is because they're exciting, except for like the token people that they put in there.
yeah. So, Hakeem, what are you doing? Just stop it. All right, now that we have seen all of our bachelors, the rest of the evening commenced. Once that kind of got started, she got one-on-one time with a bunch of the different guys. One thing that I found weird whenever she had her one-on-one talks with them, I didn't like how they kept touching her a lot, like touching her thigh or touching her leg. I felt weird about that.
Yeah, I mean, it feels kind of like it's natural, but it is like some of them went a little too far. But I guess it's like kind of natural. I think it's probably just to get that connection. I don't know. I don't think
I
I'd be
guess
comfortable
so.
doing it. Not
I
everybody did it, so it makes it a little bit more
It was just
noticeable.
weird. I don't know. It was just weird. I didn't really care for it. I feel like that was a bit odd. And as the night continued, like I said, she kind of got some more one-on-one time. I feel like we kind of have our like leading guys. I feel like are like Thomas, Grant, Marcus. I feel like a lot of those guys are kind of leading guys.
Samuel.
And Sam, well, yeah, we'll get to
Yeah.
that. Um, they also played some Truth or Dare.
Go streaking through the house.
I feel like they should have showed a little bit more of that. I don't know if it just wasn't interesting enough for TV, but to me it just felt like they didn't show much of the Truth or Dare. I know they like showed Austin streaking. Also, Austin, what the hell are those underwear? Why are there lions? What was that
He's
wardrobe
ferocious.
choice? Just
He's
what was
ferocious.
it, I guess so, but like what was that wardrobe choice, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I would have definitely skipped on those.
Yeah, and then during the Truth and Dare, one of the guys was like, "Yeah, I ghost people all the time." I'm like, "Why would you say something like that?" To me, that was like red flag, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, why would you want that? You know, it's like obviously that person is not been in good relationships and does not handle relationships at all.
Yeah, that made me feel a little weird. And we also got we finally got to see Butt Cheek Boy's face. We got one-on-one time where him and Jen talked and he unveiled his or well had Jen unveil him. Um I just that whole thing still just gives me weird vibes. I don't like it. I just don't like the whole shtick he went for. You know, he had to sit with his ass cheeks out the whole day. I mean, I forgot, was it oh god, was it Austin I think that was like paying attention to where he was sitting? I'm like, valid. I wouldn't
Yeah.
want to sit where his butt cheeks had been either and I don't know. The whole I just didn't like them. And then, going through the talking and stuff, the guys were just so cheesy. Like, extremely cheesy and just y'all are some dorks, okay? And like I get it's okay to be a dork, but this a lot of it's like this forced cheesiness and I'm just like stop.
Hey, we don't
Please.
have flashy feathers like birds have. We don't got much going for us.
Well, either way, it was super dorky. We also we have to talk about what happens with Jeremy taking okay, so Jeremy takes Jen to the car. And once they get down there, they're like having a nice talk or whatever. Jeremy is actually a little bit more bearable than he was with his opening scene. And earlier in the episode, Brian had been like, "Oh, I'm gonna steal that guy's car later," which you wouldn't think that he would be that unhinged to do it. But he gets the keys and he comes down and starts like honking the horn, like the lock button on the car, and you're just kind of like, oh, what's going on? He actually intended to steal it, or like, I don't know, but like he goes down and he's being all big guy and he's like, yeah, I'm taking your car and the girl basically, and Jeremy's just kind of like, what?
I said, I don't know if you have enough horsepower for my dog.
Oh, you have my key?
No. This is my key right now.
Oh, no, thank you, bro.
Yeah, nah, I appreciate
She
you.
wants to take my car for a drive.
Yeah, I'm gonna take her for a drive.
Like what's happening? I did feel bad for Jeremy in this moment because it was one of those awkward things where it's like, what do you do? And I felt, I don't know, it just felt really uncomfortable. Like, what was that?
Yeah, I don't know at all. I don't know why you would even like remotely think that would be a good idea. It seemed one, it was really cringe and
Yeah,
awkward, and two, it was just like okay, like it's not your car, but why are you even doing that? I don't know. It just felt I got that secondhand cringe so badly from it.
it was just so weird. I don't know. I don't like Brian. I didn't like him from the start and I don't like him now.
Santa Claus, let's get it!
He needs to go. Honestly, he needs to go. And then, they bring out a rose and they're like, "Oh, it's the first impression rose." And of course, they have us hanging by the edge of our seat for like a good portion of the episode and we see some more talking between the guys. I think the car thing may have happened after the first impression rose, it whatever. But another weird moment during the talking was when she was talking with Devin, he's the Pete Davidson guy, and they're like talking, and then they get into this like weird foot and toe talk.
Yeah,
What was that? What was going on there?
I'm not really sure. It was like back and forth. I don't even know who was being
They
about
both were
it. So
doing it, so it I guess they really do match each other's freak, but it was so I don't know. It was weird, okay? It was just kind of weird. I'm just gonna say.
it definitely
Um,
was.
yeah, it made me feel a little uncomfortable. So we also get a little more screen time with Grant. They're playing basketball so he can win a kiss with her. Honestly, I thought they had some chemistry. Out of all the people, I felt like her and Grant and her and Sam sort of had like some really good chemistry with each other. I don't know. Grant, it seemed cute. It seemed like they were vibing, but then Thomas and kind of swoops in and is like, haha, bye. Which was weird because they didn't even show anything after that. Like they didn't show where
It was
they
out
went.
uneventful.
That's what it felt like. But they also had their one-on-one earlier in the evening, so I'm wondering if they just filmed it out of or like placed it in the episode out of place or something. I'm not really sure. It was a little odd with how
Yeah, it
they
was
did
definitely
that and
odd.
yeah, and it's funny to watch the guys. They're just kind of starting to spiral. Like a couple of them are kind of like spiraling and being like, "Man, what if I don't get a rose? Like it's gonna be like the worst thing ever." Seeing some of that is funny in my opinion. I like the slow descent into I mean, I imagine these people are probably tired and they've been filming all day and it's probably stressful and the adrenaline is probably starting to wear off. So seeing their exhaustion or like exhaustion induced panic over it is kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. Um And then we see Marcus and Jin talk to each other. I feel like they also have a connection. I don't know why. I don't know. I'm just not a Marcus fan. I'm just not a Marcus fan.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't really like him either.
Like, I don't have to marry the guy, but I'm just saying I'm not sure about
No,
that.
that's not how that works. You know that? Like, if you do the commentating on it, you have a person. Like, we're legally divorced after this, and
Ah,
you got to marry who. So you better
ah,
hope she picks. You're automatically in a unicorn relationship with them.
I don't like any of them though.
Well, then you better like Jen enough.
Uh, okay. Anyway, they take us to the first impression rose moment. I asked Japan to give me a prediction on who he thought the first impression rose would go to. We both actually had the same person. We both thought Grant.
Yeah.
But Sam,
On,
oh,
yeah, I was gonna say honestly, I would have thought Sam too, but the only problem was like he was first, and then he went in for that kiss, and he didn't get
and
it.
then
I
she
thought that
gave
would.
him, yeah, that was so awkward whenever they were talking and he went in for the kiss and then she just kind of like turned her head. It was just kind of awkward and uncomfortable, and I'm just like, oh, like I felt like they had like a connection, but that also made me feel like, oh, okay, they're not like, maybe she's not feeling it, or like not feeling it as much. So whenever she gave him the rose, I kind of wasn't expecting it. I was like, oh, because she was so willing to kiss Grant in the moment. So that's why it was so weird that she went for Sam. I mean, I did feel like they had chemistry, but I don't know. I did,
Yeah, I did
however,
too.
feel weird about when they took them to the room, after she gave him the rose. His hand placement was on both of her legs, and like it was slid across
Yeah,
both of her legs. That was uncomfortable and weird.
yeah, I didn't like that at all. I was like, that's
Ooh,
too
brother,
much
ooh.
movement. Yeah, that's a little bit too
Yeah.
much movement.
And it may have just been one of those awkward moments. I also wonder if the production teams are like telling them to touch her leg. I don't know if that's like a thing, but it's,
I
to
think so. I
me.
think it's more of like a physical connection, like they do it to do it, because not everybody did it. On some of the
Mm,
one-on-ones, some people were just kind of respectfully like sitting really close to her.
yeah.
So
To
I'm like
me,
thinking
I
some of the
wouldn't.
people who didn't touch it were the ones that didn't get roses, so maybe it is like a thing. Like,
Maybe. Maybe. I mean, and I guess, different people, different things, me personally, I would not want to be touched the first time I met somebody like that. Like, one thing to shake a hand or a hug or something, but if I'm having a conversation with you and you have your hand on my leg, I would be very uncomfortable. I don't know you like that. Please back up, sir. Like, I don't know. Like I said though, different people, different things. I did find it weird though that like her and Sam, like, she was so timid to kiss anybody, and then they just go into like very intense makeout. Like, it's not just like a couple like, kisses. It's like a full on like half laying down makeout session. Like, that was a lot in my opinion.
yeah, I always
I
feel
don't
bad for the
know.
camera guy. There's some dude just
Yeah.
standing there with the camera watching
Like,
this
do you guys
the
want
whole
me to
time.
like go? Like, I don't know.
Like, no, join.
I could leave. I don't want to make y'all uncomfortable. Yeah, no, I felt like that was a little odd, but no, that's actually really funny. Um, okay. After that, they start to get to the end of the evening where they decide who gets the roses. I asked Japan to give me a prediction on who he thinks will get a rose and who he thinks will not get a rose. You
Yeah, I should have
chose.
went wood. I should have went with bread on the knot. I knew better.
Mm, yeah, that's valid. You chose to stay Grant, which was
Yep.
correct, and you chose to go home as Hakeem. Honestly, I thought Hakeem would go home too, but he didn't. I just didn't feel like they had any connection, and maybe they're just not showing it. Like, I feel like it, or
Yeah.
maybe, like, you
I just
never
really didn't want
know.
to look at him anymore.
Yeah, I feel like Hakeem's a lot. Like, whenever oh god, butt
Yeah.
cheek guy, he came in with his face uncovered, Hakeem was way too excited for that. He's like, "Yeah!" And everybody else just like, "Oh, nice," but he's just like full on like hollering and whooping, and I'm just like, okay, okay, let's calm down a little bit. Let's just back it up. Back it up, bro. That was a little odd in my opinion. I don't vibe with Hakeem. Once again, I don't have to marry the guy, but it's just awkward. The people that I really wasn't understanding why she didn't send home were Jonathan and Brian. I
The problem with the Brian one is that like it was so awkward, but then like he, recovered pretty nicely with that and she seemed to enjoy him. It was just that was such a weird and awkward thing in the car that like I don't think I could have got past it personally, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I personally would have been like, I don't appreciate this kind of behavior. It's one thing, I know that it's a competition and I know that you guys have to do everything you can to get like my, whatever, but like this is not really nice or acceptable and I just don't vibe with it. And I don't know, I just felt like, ooh, brother, ooh. And then I also didn't understand why she gave Sam the rose, the love virgin guy. I think he's incredibly attractive, but I really didn't expect for him to get a rose.
yeah. Well, and I think like if she really stops to think about it, he's like the worst person for her because like there's nothing like bad about being like your first name, but he's never even had a girl. Like going straight into marriage is
Yeah,
insane for
that's
like
my thing.
like for not like both people. Like I was gonna say I can't be the judge of that because I married the first person I dated too. But like, it's still like, but we were similar in that vein. But she doesn't seem to be the same way.
It's yeah, like to me, especially when you're like trying to set your life up and stuff, to be getting with someone, I don't know, after she's dated and she's really looking for the right guy and like for the person that will treat her the best and be the person that she needs, I feel like it's kind of a lot to go for a guy that's never dated or doesn't I mean like to never have even dated ever is wild. Like to be that age and be like not even like a person in school like you know what I mean? Like it's a lot. And I know that I think he mentioned that he came from like a traditional background like culturally, so I do understand that that may have had some type of bearing on things, but I still, to me, it just, I don't know. It's a red flag. And the way he came up and his entrance and everything, he gives me weird vibes and I'm not here for it personally.
I completely agree.
So I had a question.
Okay.
If you were single, would you go on a show like The Bachelorette or The Bachelor?
Uh, I don't think I have the confidence, like, to actually think people that would
Mm,
be interested in me to do it. I don't know. I mean, I don't think I would say no to it.
yeah.
Um, I, I could see it being interesting and good to do. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I have the confidence for it myself. I would feel like people are just there to be on the show.
Would you prefer to go on The Bachelorette or The Bachelor?
No, no, definitely The Bachelor. I definitely
Yeah.
could not do it if I was competing with other people because I'm not that type of person. I'd be like that guy in the corner just drinking, be eliminated the first time, and be like, okay, bye, guys. Like I
Yeah,
wouldn't even be able to
valid.
like cut in there and get the time and stuff. Like I couldn't do that. And like I said, like even just 25 women coming in there and like talking and all that, I'd be so exhausted by it. Like I wouldn't know what was what.
Yeah. No, I feel like I would struggle with keeping up with people's names, and I know that sounds crappy, but I really would. I would be so like
Name tags.
yes, name tags, and also I'd probably just find different ways to I think part of my problem, I personally don't know if I could do a show like that. One, I'm not really that interested in men, so it would definitely have to be a queer version. I don't know if they've done that. If they haven't, come on guys, what are you doing? Give us a queer version of this show. Like, hello, we need The Bachelor with bachelors and The Bachelorette with bachelorettes. I'm just saying. But I would
Yeah,
want a queer version, and I to be fair, anybody I date, it's a queer relationship because of how I identify as they them, but I'm more interested in AFAB people, assigned female at birth people. So, but I don't I don't think I would do good on competing for someone's attention. I would be very easily get my feelings hurt, especially if I felt like I had a connection with that person. And I don't think I could deal with being the center of attention like that. I feel like I would feel so bad to hurt people's feelings, and I just don't see how you're able to establish a real connection or relationship with someone in that type of scenario where, in my opinion, everyone is being so far removed from their authentic selves for the sake of television.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, because I mean, everybody's being fake to a certain extent because you got to be the best version. Even if it's not yourself, it's what she's gonna like, and it's just yeah, it's just not worth it because it's just not cool. Like I mean, you're
Yeah.
just not really gonna find the person that it doesn't really like heat up or so.
You what?
Like that's
You
when
cut
you
out.
like oh you like it really doesn't heat up until you get to the final five. Like then you could really
Yeah,
know
I
every
bet.
nook and cranny about the person. But like especially in the first part, you're just judging it off of looks basically and just that little bit of
Yeah.
interaction.
No, definitely. It felt like it'd be hard, you know? Anyway, that was our first episode. Oh, and they say at the end they're going to Australia. I don't know what they mean by that, but I mean,
I
obviously
think
I
that
think
means
they're
the rest
going
of the
to.
season's there.
I'm guessing so, and they said they've never done that before. So I'm curious to see what they're gonna do in Australia. We tried not to watch the season part because we want it to be a surprise. But yeah, that was the first episode. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I'm gonna hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Who you guys are hoping makes it all the way to the end? Who do you guys think are cute? Who do you guys think should have gotten roses or who shouldn't have gotten roses? I want to hear all the tea, especially as someone who has never watched this show before. This is my first time. So hit me with those opinions and make sure you guys give Lost in Japan a follow. I will tag him at the bottom of the video so you guys can go give him some love, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye friends.
Bye.
Shot o'clock! Let's get it!